Hey guys, what's going on? It is a beautiful Monday. I hope this week is a blessing for you, and I mean that. All right, I know Mondays can be tough. Had a couple of days of doing whatever you wanted to, and then they got to make you go to work or school or just life comes at you. All right, but let's get going. We're talking about doctrines and what they mean and what they are. Since it's Monday, let's kind of revamp on what a doctrine is. So a doctrine that we're using it is a fundamental belief of Christianity. There are things you can believe about Christianity that other people who legitimately love Jesus call themselves Christians, and that I think historically the church or believers in Christ would say you're Christians that you can disagree on. Nowadays that looks like music and Bible translations maybe, or its consumption of alcohol is sin. We can have discussions about those things. But what doctrines are things that if you don't believe these things, you're no longer Christian. You can call yourself that, but that doesn't make it true, okay? And that's not me trying to be legalistic. That's not me trying to be narrow-minded. That's just how things are, okay? So the example we've been using most recently is like a stop sign, okay? There are certain things about a stop sign that make it a stop sign. Let's say you take normal red octagon stop sign with the word stop in the middle. Let's say you take that word stop off of there. Is it still a stop sign? Yeah, probably. Let's say that you change it from being red to blue. So it's a blue sign, still octagon, still says stop, still at the end of roads. I think most people would still stop at that, still be a stop sign. But eventually, if you start stripping things away, you lose this stop sign. You can't make a green triangle with the word bananas on it and say that's a stop sign. Somewhere along the lines, you've removed what makes that thing what it is. And that's just how the world is. So we're talking about those things that are essential to Christianity. Friday, we looked at one of the aspects of the church that God has made believers, you and me, if we call ourselves Christians, to be on mission to tell others about Jesus Christ. The church at its founding was told to be a mobile church, to be a going and telling other people church. And here's the other thing, and I think it's really fallen back, is church is supposed to be a committed group of believers doing life together. Now, I'll be honest, you're not going to find a verse in the Bible that says, hey, make sure you get into a place every Sunday morning with other people who believe like you do and you're worshiping together. You're not going to see that verse, especially not laid out like that. But if you read the New Testament, you will see verses over and over again about how Christians are to be doing life together, how they're to fellowship with one another, how they're supposed to be in conversation, how they're supposed to be loving each other. There's going to be tons of verses about how preachers are supposed to watch their church and how members are supposed to interact with each other. There are going to be verses about how we are to just organize together. And the reason is because the meeting of believers together in one place regularly is something the Bible doesn't demand because it expects that as just natural being. Church is a gathering together. So let us not, even the Bible would say, do not forsake the gathering of yourselves together. So that's my doctrine this morning, is church gathered, a body of believers together, and really somewhat of a challenge. If you are not plugged in, and I don't mean you're going somewhere where you get the good feels from something, I mean you're somewhere where you can be used, where the talents that God has given you are expressed for His glory with other believers. If you're not able to pour out, I mean, that's something we need to be about. We need to be gathering with other people, other brothers and sisters who call themselves Christians, and sacrificing what God has given us for the betterment of the whole. Love you guys.